Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you guys are having a great Wednesday. It's finally the last day of the month of May, and we'll take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin at the end of the month. It's going to be a red month for us, but it's kind of expected based on historical data that we do have. We'll look at June's historical data as well, see what that possibly leads for us in June. And we'll also take a look at DMG. DMG provided their financial results for Q1. And then in the next video, we'll actually go over the quarterly results for all the miners and do the metrics for them and grade them. Top 5 miners for those, okay? So that's all coming up, but as always, you guys know the drill here. Not financial advice for entertainment only. Do your own research, and I'm investing in the following coins and companies for full disclosure. Also, if you guys enjoy this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. So let's get into the markets here, see what's going on here. The markets were actually a little bit mixed today. The S&P was down 0.61%. Dow Jones was down 0.41%, and NASDAQ was up 0.73%. Bitcoin, on the other hand, is still down. We got about 11 minutes or so left in the day for trading on the day, and then flips over to the new day. But it's down right now 1.63%. It was down much more than that during the day, but it did rebound a little bit here right now in the last couple hours. So it's trading at 27,250 right now as it is. Looking at the monthly chart here, we can see that we are down on the month so far, 6.83% on the month. Unless something major, drastic changes in the last 11 minutes or so, I think we're going to be in the red for the month of May on it, okay? Looking at the 4-hour chart, we can see here that we went above the 50-day moving average, which is our teal line here, along with the 20-day moving average, which is our yellow line here. We bounced above it, but we couldn't hold above it, basically. We fell below both of those, and we are now kind of, the 20-day moving average is acting as a resistance right now in the last 4 hours or so right now. Based on that, if we look at also the 4-hour RSI here, the peaks, we can see here that the peak was here on the 79. Last time we were right around here, the peak was around 77. Prior to that, we were at a peak of 86. And each time we hit a peak, price has been coming down lower and lower, which leads me to believe that we might still be going down lower, possibly to like the 25,000 range before everything is said and done, which would be right around, well, be actually lower than our 200 weekly moving average, which is our red line, but it might be right around our 200 daily moving average, which is the blue line here. That's kind of where we might bounce off of things, especially when we head into June. And we'll talk about June here in a second here. Why don't we do that now? So June, as you can see here, historically has not been a good month. 50% of the time it's in the red, and on average, it's down 1.8% on the month as it is right now. So we've had some pretty bad months here in June. We were down 38% back in 2022. 24% down in 2013. Other than that, we were just up slightly in 2014, 0.59%, 15% in 2015. 2016, we were up 25%, and we were up just 0.16. So you can see it's kind of a lackluster month usually in June. Vacation time for people, things like that. So people aren't trading. So, and then they usually get back into the swing of things in July. And July looks like 70% of the time has been green, and at least it is providing us with about 8.75% on average for July. So June might be a bad month coming in for us as it is right now. That's why I'm thinking we might be going down to 25,000, but we'll see where it actually ends up at. Okay, so that's Bitcoin there on the 4-hour chart. 1-hour chart, you can also see here that we definitely were a little bit oversold here today. In the last, I'd say probably 16 hours or so, we dropped below the 30 on the RSI. And we are currently on the RSI at 50. Last time we were back here, price was actually higher, so we are trending downwards as it is right now. Okay, so that's Bitcoin right there. Ethereum is going to finish out the month. Let's take a look at that one here on the monthly. See where that one's going to finish out. And that one looks like it's actually going to be on the positive side for the month. It might be up approximately 0.21% if it closes within the next 8 minutes or so. It might be up or it might be down. We'll see where this actually ends up at. So it's up slightly. It's up basically $4.04 on the month. It's $4.08 right now. Okay, so we'll see where that one is going to end up at. All right, let's take a look at the miners here. The miners also had a pretty mixed day today as it was for them. So let's take a look at them quickly here. Annie was down 1.75%. Argo was up 0.84%. Bit Digital was up 3.67%. Bitfarms was flat on the day at 0. Cypher was up 3.67%. CleanSpark was down 4.03%. Cores was up 0.4%. DigiHost was down 0.66%. DMG was down 2.31%. Greenidge was down 8.17%. Hive was, should go to Hive. Hive here was up 2.21%. Oh, why is that doing that? Don't know. Hut 8 was up 3.85%. Iris Energy was down 3.25%. Marathon was up 3.93%. Mawson was up 4%. Riot was down 0.25%. Soluna was up 1.54%. Stronghold was up 3.64%. And TeraWolf was down 4.46% on it. Okay. Based on the monthly chart on these, really quick, we'll take a look at all of them here. It looks like Wolf is down on the monthly chart right now, down 15.73%. Stronghold was going to be down as well, 36% on the month. Soluna is down 21% on the month. Riot is actually up on the month. It's up 0.33%, so up slightly here. Right now, Mawson is down 17.52%. Marathon is up slightly as well. It's up this one's showing negative. It's down 2.78% actually on the month. On that one, Iris Energy was down 10.75%. Hut 8 was up 20%. Hive was basically flat on the month. Greenwich was, looks like, down 51% for the month. And then we got DMG. DMG was down 10%. DigiHost was down 12%. Cores was down 3.38%. CleanSpark was up, actually, looks like 9.72%. Cypher was up also on the month, 9.96%. Bitfarms was up slightly here, 3.45%. BitDigital was up nicely, 71.21% on the month. And then Argo was actually down on the month, 15%. Okay, so that's how things kind of looked for the miners for this past month. All right, so that's all the stories that we have here. Let's take a look at the network hash rate, see what's going on there really quick as well. And we can see here that on the 7-day average, wow, we were spiking to a new high here. So 375 million terahashes on that one. If we go down to the 1-day average, let's see if we got any spikes. We didn't get any spikes really, but we are still at 379 million right now as it is on the 1-day average. Okay, so network hash rate is going up slowly but surely. And right now we're kind of trading sideways a little bit on that one. Okay, so that's it for that. So let's take a look at DMG here really quick. We'll go through all their numbers. So this is for Q1 for them. We're not going to get into all the details here as far as recent highlights or anything like that. One thing to note, though, is 255.8 Bitcoin mined. I had them at like 285. And that's based on what they reported on their Twitter account. And I think that's the full amount that they mined, but then they have to give back through their pool, I think. Is that the reason why? That's why I was off on my numbers a little bit. We'll see if we can get that rectified going forward. But here's the financial highlights. So revenue for the second quarter ending March 31st, 2023 was 7.6 million versus 11.9 million in the year ago quarter. A decrease of 36% driven by primarily a 41% year-over-year decline in the quarterly average Bitcoin price, which is true, partially offset by a 31% increase in the amount of Bitcoin mined to 255.8 from 195.9 in the prior year. But we've also had the network hash rate go up. So that also contributed to it as well. Operating and maintenance costs for the quarter ended March were 4.6 million as compared to 3.2 million. In the year ago period, the majority of the increase was due to utility costs, which increased 1.2 million during the period. This increase was the result of increase in digital currency mining activity from additional miners acquired during the year. The company had 9,282 miners installed as of March 31st, up from 6,378 installed at March 31st of last year. And then down here, general administrative expenses declined to 777,000 in the quarter ending March 31st versus 972,000 the prior year. The decrease was primarily due to lower professional fees and lower regulatory and filing fees during the period. So that's good there. Net loss for the quarter was 3.8 million versus a net profit of 57,000 in the prior year period. The loss for the period ending March 31st compared to the prior year was primarily the result of lower revenues combined with increasing operating and maintenance costs, higher depreciation expense, which was partially offset by lower share-based compensation expenses and lower R&D. So that's good there. Nonetheless, they're still in the negative for it, and that's basically because Bitcoin price is where it's at, and the network hash rate has increased. Okay, so let's take a look at the numbers that I do have for them. They currently have about 167 million shares outstanding, stock price is about 20 cents, market cap 33 million. Current hash rate is about 917 petahash. They're supposed to get to about 1.2 based on the numbers that I have for them. We've gone through this before. I'm not going to get into it too much here. We're just going to look at some of the financial data here. And this is, let's see down here, last quarter revenue. So you can see here that they have been increasing here since Q4 of last year, which would have been, let me see, December, September quarter. They've been increasing here nicely to 5.753 million. This is for their self-mining. And this is in dollars. The rest of the data here we'll look at is in Canadian dollars. Last quarter operating costs have been kind of on the average side, around 3 point some million. They did go up a little bit here, 3.959 from 3.948. Not a huge increase, but still a little bit of an increase, which isn't too bad. Cost to mine one Bitcoin has increased here to 13.24 thousand from 11.8. Bitcoin mined quarterly has come down here. I actually updated this to 255, which they reported for the quarter instead of what they actually reported on their Twitter page or Twitter feed. Debt to equity has come down, which is good. Lower is better. Current ratio went up to 4.75, which is good. Higher is better on that one. Total current assets have also increased to 19 million from 13 million, so that's good there. And then total current liabilities actually came down to 4.042 million from 4.463 million. So that's good there. Okay, let's take a look at the numbers that we do have for it all. We'll get into some of the metrics here at the end. And here's what we have. Let me zoom this in for you guys. There we go. And we'll do a comparison between the prior quarter and this quarter. So cash and cash equivalents increased here quite nicely to 4.7 million from 683,000. Accounts receivable went down a little bit here to 3.7 from 6.9. So that's almost 3.3 million less. Digital assets went up to 16.9 from 10.2. So that's good. Prepaid expenses went down a little bit here to 235 from 295. And then marketable securities went up 306,000 compared to 172,000. So total current assets in Canadian was 25.9 million compared to 18.4 million. So that's good there. And then you can see the US conversion there. Long-term deposits was 8.4. So that's down a little bit from 8.8. Property equipment went down also to 53 from 58 million. And then we have the same number here for long-term investments. That's still 45,000. Amount recoverable is up a little bit to 6.8 from 6.7. So not too bad. And so total assets came in at 94 million compared to 92. So there's an increase there. So that's good there as well. You can see the US equivalent for that. Current liabilities is trade and other payables is at 5 million compared to 5.5 million. So they did pay down a little bit there. So that's good. Deferred revenue also came down to 11,000 from 168,000. So that's good. Current portion of lease liabilities is down to 70,000 from 92. And then current portion of loans payable, should be loans, not lands payable, went up actually to 324,000 from 291. So all in all, total current liabilities actually came down to 5.4 million from 6 million. So that's good there. Okay, long-term lease liabilities went down to 63,000 from 74,000. Secured loan payables went down to 931,000 from 956. So that's good there. Total liabilities came in at 6.4 million compared to 7 million. So that's good there as well. Shareholders' equity, you guys can take a look at that. Revenues, here's the interesting part of it. So on the revenue side, self-mining was at 7.8 million. I had higher than that. I had about 8 million something, I believe. But we'll look at that here shortly. That's increased from 6.6 million, so that's good there. Mining equipment, this is a new one here. Mining equipment, hosting, and setup services. This was 366,000. This might have been under another one here. Might have been under hosting itself, but maybe they just called it differently this time around. But that's where I have it at there. You can see the other one here for hosting. And then net pool revenue also was negative 738,000. Not sure what that's all about. That's a new one for me. Mining pool fees was 98 compared to a 0 here. Forensics and consulting was 0. Software license income was up slightly here. 34,665 compared to 34,270. And then other was up quite nicely to 56,000. So total came in at 7.62 million compared to 7.1 million. So that's still an increase there. Operating costs have increased a little bit here as well. 4.5, almost 4.6 million from 4.4. General administrative came down, which is good. I like seeing that coming down to 776,000 compared to 947,000. Stock-based compensation also went down to 423 from 515. That's good. Research and development actually went up to 499 from 431. Don't like seeing that going up too much. Provision of doubtful accounts went down to 50,000 compared to 63,000. And then depreciation went down also to 5.8 from 6 million. So total expenses went down to 12.2 million roughly from 12.4. So that is an improvement of 200,000. Nonetheless, it is an improvement. Okay. Let's see here. Gross profit. This is with everything was negative 60%. Gross profit minus depreciation came in at 41% for this quarter, 33% from the prior quarter. So that is a nice increase there as well. Then you got the other income expenses, miscellaneous things. You can take a look at it. Net income loss came in at negative 3.8 million compared to negative 7 million for the prior quarter. So that's good there as well. Things are improving a little bit for them there. Total comprehensive income was 2.4 million compared to a negative 7 million. It looks like, but they still lost per share of 2 cents compared to negative 4 cents on that one. And I may have to take a look at this one. I think this should have been -2. Where is this one at? 3, and then we're adding all of that into it. Yeah, okay, that's where it's at. On that one, going up here to the metrics side of things, they reported 255 Bitcoin, which is less than Q1. That's mainly because they're slow growth, and then network hash rate increasing is going to result in lower BTC mined. Starting hash rate was about the same as the ending hash rate, so the average was 917 petahash. BTC mined per exahash was 278, which is way down from the 325 that they had in Q1, or December ending quarter. Cost to mine 1 Bitcoin minus depreciation was 17.9 million thousand, Canadian, and US it would be 13.2. There's an increase from the 11.8 that they had here in December quarter ending. Debt to equity ratio, like we talked about that one already. Price to book value is at 0.518 compared to 0.535, so that's good. That came down a little bit here. Enterprise value, beta, you guys can take a look at that. General administrative compensation came in at 15.74%, which is good. Like seeing that under 20. They can get that even lower, all the better. And then as far as shares, currently outstanding, this is what they reported. So it looks like they didn't dilute anything based on from the prior quarter to this quarter. They still have the same amount of number of shares, so it looks like they didn't dilute anything on that one. Okay, so based on that, all the information, the revenue that I had for them was at 6.08 million for self-mining. They came in at 5.7, and like I said, this was based on the numbers that they provided here, which got us to 268 Bitcoin instead of the 255 Bitcoin that they reported for the quarter. So that's why my numbers are off on that. I'll see if I can just fix this somehow by some calculations going forward, but we'll see. We'll see if we can get a little bit closer to that. Okay, and looking up over here, we can see that they are currently at, well, they're currently at 20 cents. With the last 3 quarters revenue of about 14.7 million. Current quarter, we're looking at about 6 million, depending. Might be off a little bit on that. Might be closer to the 5.7 like they reported recently, unless Bitcoin goes way up. PE of 10 with a 50% net income, we're looking at 62 cents. And 75% net income, we're looking at 93. I think they're closer to 50% right now. So I think 62 is kind of the sweet spot for them right now, where I think they would be valued quite appropriately. So in my opinion, they are undervalued for where they should be, but I think that will increase the stock price once Bitcoin starts going up, as it does for all the other miners as well. So this is just a matter of time before that happens. Okay, let me know what you guys thought of all of this. Like I said, in the next video, we are going to get into the quarterly results for the miners, do the metrics on them for growth, and then also on their financial side of things. And that will be coming out probably right after this video here shortly. Okay, so hope you guys have a great night. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then,